US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has reaffirmed the US-Australia alliance and the values the two share.
Free and open trade, property rights, the liberal order that we all have come to value and benefit from. We want to make sure those are the rules by which the next century is governed as well. And I know we've got a great partner in Australia to make that more likely.
Particularly when it comes to the growing threat of China. In an exclusive interview with Sky News host Peter Credlin, Secretary Pompeo has acknowledged some countries became swept up by China's growth and were ultimately bought off.
When a country shows up and hands you a bag full of money, that seems simple and straightforward, and you don't realize the cost associated with that until, frankly, you're too far in, when you've accepted the debt that comes alongside of that. And now China has not just economic control, but the capacity to impose their political and military goals upon you.
He admits the US was also asleep at the switch.
So I think every nation has an obligation to make sure that, that we want economic growth. That is a necessity, but we can never take that deal to the exclusion of making sure that we protect our citizens.
Defence Minister Linda Reynolds has confirmed Australia is seriously considering a request from the US to help protect oil shipments against Iranian interference in the Persian Gulf. Secretary Pompeo says there is a possible role for Australia in the Strait of Hormuz.
Australia could join in a number of ways. It's a highly capable, sophisticated military. There are many assets it could deploy. We want to make sure we have a comprehensive program so that Iran won't do something that will either A, risk that there'll be a kinetic conflict, which is something the United States certainly doesn't want, but second, that we protect the Australian economy.
And on the biggest risks to the world.
What keeps you awake at night?
The world still faces an enormous risk of nuclear proliferation. And so whether you see the work we're trying to do on North Korea to get them to denuclearize, our work to ensure that the Islamic Republic of Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon system, those are things that threaten a large number of peoples. And the second thing that has truly come to life in the last decade is the threat from cyber warfare as well.
Danica Di Giorgio, Sky News.